Today I come to talk about the God. I know I'm not talking about Messi. I talk about the God of pain music, Chronic Law. Now, this is very interesting for me to do because when I tell you say marketing in everything, I mean it in everything. Because if Dancehall had a LinkedIn, Chronic Law profile would I say expert in pain, badness, and depressing gun lyrics. Listen to me, the man made a career out of sounding like he's writing in his diary while holding a rifle. And guess what? That worked for him. So I want to talk about how Chronic Law really rose to fame, what his PR and marketing strategies were, and how it made him one of the most respected lyricists in dancehall, and how he managed to be every ghetto youth therapist. Now first, his branding. His branding was that he was the king of emotional badness. Unlike the other dancehall artists who focus on pure badness, Chronic Law added a twist. He made badness sound emotional. His brand is built on 3 key elements. Number 1, gunman with feelings. Chronic Law is the first dancehall artist to make you feel like you cry while busting a blank. His lyrics will have you thinking about your ex, your enemies, and your financial struggles all at once. The next one is authenticity. He doesn't just sing about pain. He actually looks like he's going through it. Me talk about my music video them. If you're watching video them, there's no flashy gimmicks, just straight, raw, relatable storytelling. The third one was lyricism and substance. While other artists were focusing on catchy hooks, Chronic Law ensured that every single bar means something. His songs felt like a ghetto TED Talk. If TED Talks were about betrayal, struggles, and shootouts. Chronic Law rose to fame with the Six Alliance and the 2018 takeover. Chronic Law's breakthrough didn't happen in isolation. He rose to fame alongside the Six Crew led by Squash and Daddy One. He got his first real buzz in 2018 when he became part of the Six Camp, bringing a different flavor to the movement. Instead of just raw badness, Chronic Law introduced deep, thought-provoking street music that made people feel something. His breakout hit was Hillside, that became an anthem not just for badness, but for the hustlers, the dreamers, and the people who felt like they were climbing an uphill battle. From there, Chronic Law did what any smart artist would do. He flooded the streets with music. In a digital streaming era, he used a quantity strategy to dominate playlists and YouTube recommendations. And the YouTube algorithm rewarded him. The man released a song every 5 business days. Chronic Law floods the market with music like he's trying to pay rent with streams. At one point, it felt like every week there was a new Chronic Law song. And it worked. This worked for him. We're not fight it because his consistent output kept him relevant, ensuring fans always had fresh music to listen to. The YouTube algorithm rewarded his frequency, pushing his songs into recommendations. His ability to drop back-to-back hits gave him an advantage over slower releasing artists. Now, let's look at the depressing, but that's why I said this was so interesting for me to do, because now I want to dive into the depressing badness. Chronic Law found a unique niche in dancehall pain music with gunman energy. His songs sound like you're going to war, but you reminisce on your childhood struggle. Or you're in a one shootout, but you're also sad, say you lose friends along the way. Yeah, but a blank, but your heart broken. His music gives you multiple emotions at the same time, making it relatable to both hardcore and emotional listeners. Chronic Law has a smart PR move as well when he avoids unnecessary controversy. This is not his brand. This is not what made him popular. So it is very smart. It's a very smart PR move to avoid this. Unlike some other artists who rely on beef for clout, Chronic Law mostly stays focused on music. While he has thrown jabs in clashes, he never overdoes it to the point where it overshadows his brand and his music. So he lets his lyrics speak for him instead of engaging in unnecessary social media drama. And this helps him to maintain that seriousness and that respectable image in the industry. Fans see him as one of the few modern dancehall artists who focus purely on artistry. Then there's this mystery and low profile approach. Chronic Law is not a hype artist. He doesn't live on Instagram Live or try to trend for foolishness. Instead, he keeps his personal life private, making fans more curious about him. He lets his music be the main focus, which gives him a long-term credibility. He maintains a low profile, high impact approach, making him feel more authentic and mysterious. And he listens to his audience and his fans. Because when the girl them start saying John Walla Boss wants some gyal true now, he pivoted. And this was unexpected but kind of entertaining. For years, Law Boss was strictly about pain, badness, and betrayal. But in recent times, he has diversified his sound by tapping into the ladies segment of dancehall. Why? because even the baddest gunman at a star spot. And let's be real, the gyal tunes bring in a different kind of money. Hustler anthem and badman ballads, but dancehall history shows that female support is crucial for longevity, because one artist who stick to one song too long becomes predictable. So by dropping the gyal song, it's sounding repetitive and broaden his appeal. It's also good for the streaming and party appeal, because girl songs tend to perform well on streaming platforms and get more club play. This means more selectors are spinning track them, leading to wider and bigger checks. And he didn't just jump into gyal tunes randomly. He kept his own twist to it. He put chronic law style on the love song. So instead of singing about sweet boy, love and roses, he still keeps a gangster edge, making the songs relatable to his usual audience. He had lyrics that balance the rough and romantic. He'll say something like, "I love you, but I can't trust you," maintaining his authenticity. He never switched up completely. He just adjusted it slightly so he could still sound like himself while appealing to a broader audience. Walk with Faith that balances love with struggle and didn't abandon his core sound, so old fans don't feel like him switch up too much. It opens up new performance opportunities, especially at events where a strict badness catalog might not fit the vibe. The marketing takeaway from this is that you have to diversify without losing your identity. Chronic Law expanded his sound but didn't abandon his signature vibe. You also have to test the waters gradually. Now, instead of suddenly dropping a full girl song album, he introduced one or two songs at the time to see how fans react. And another thing is that balance is key. He still gives fans the pain and badness music while throwing in a girl song one or two times to keep things fresh. Now, the marketing lessons from Chronic Law's career is that you find your niche and own it. Chronic Law is not just another badness artist. He is the CEO of Emotional Badness. Also, that quantity can win in the streaming era. Remember, we're in a streaming era now, and by constantly releasing music, he stayed relevant and dominated algorithm. It's also good to stay out of useless drama if that is not a part of your brand. If controversy is not your brand, if you never break out with controversy, stay out of useless drama. Instead of gimmicks and clout chasing, he focused on building a serious, respected career. And if you're an artist like that, you have to keep a low profile but a high impact. Chronic Law's mystique and authenticity makes him even more intriguing to fans. He has mastered his lane and became one of the most respected modern dancehall artists. Now, what I want to see is him expanding his style to reach broader audiences and tap into international collaboration. But one thing is for sure, as long as there is struggle, pain and badness, Chronic Law will always have an audience. Comment below and tell me who you want me to talk about next.
Me still a smoke all when me dep on antibiotics. Me have to drink and talk together so the prayer real. Even the alphabet tricky.